Caitlyn again with Star Tutors. Today we're going to go through the SAT Math No Calculator section from Test 10 in the Big Blue Book. But before we do that, just a reminder that all of our materials for the SAT that our tutors have put together can be found on the Star U app. So if you haven't checked out the app yet, you should download it. Go to your app store, look up Star U. All the materials and resources that we have for the SAT are on there for free. So take advantage of that. So again, today we're going to go through this SAT Math No Calculator section of Test 10 from the Blue Book. And I don't have a timer on me, but Chase does have one behind the camera. He's gonna have the time on for us. We've got 25 minutes, 20 questions, and I'll probably ask him for time updates as we're taking the test, and you should see the timer in the bottom corner of your screen. All right, so the first page is normal. We've got our formulas here, and whenever Chase is ready, we're gonna get started.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right, 25 minutes and your time starts now.
All right, let's go. All right, question number 1. 2z plus 1 equals z. What's the value of z in this equation? All right, we subtract the z over, we get z equals -1. B. Great. That was a nice, easy one right off the start. Number 2, we've got a television with a price of $300 is to be purchased with an initial payment of $60, weekly payments of $30. We want the equation for the number of weekly payments required to complete the purchase, no taxes or other fees. All right, so we have 300. First, we're going to pay $60 down, then we're going to add $30 for every week. And that looks like C. Cool. Number 3, what do we got? Shipping charges, merchandise weight, pounds, shipping charge. We got a table. There's a linear relationship. Which of the following can be used to determine the shipping charge, total shipping charge for an order with a merchandise weight of X pounds? Okay, right off the bat, I don't like these answers because what is 0.9? I don't want to have to multiply by this without using a calculator. I'm just going to see if I can find trends in the pounds and the shipping charge. So let's see, as the pounds went up here by 5, this is like roughly 17, roughly 22, so this is going up by roughly 5. The next one, as I go up 10, this goes up again roughly 10. So it looks like as I'm going up 5, I'm going up 5, 10, I'm going up 10. So that means I'm going up $1 for every 1 pound. So that means my slope of this line should be 1. So 0.99 is really close to 1. So it's got to be either A or B. And then if I just plug in like 10, if I plug in 10, I'm supposed to get somewhere around 22. If I plug in 10 into A, I'm not going to get 22, so it's got to be B. Okay, that was kind of tricky though for just number 3. Let's hope the next ones are easier. Number 4, the line in the XY plane above represents a relationship between the height in feet and the base diameter X in feet for cylindrical Doric columns. Oh yeah, okay. How much greater is the height? How much greater is the height of a Doric column that has a base diameter of 5 than the height of a Doric column of base diameter of 2? Okay, so if we have diameter 2 and diameter 5, we look at those points on the graph. We've got diameter 2 has a height 14, diameter 5 has a height 35. So I'm looking at the difference between 35 and 14. Subtract 21 feet. That's the difference because it says how much greater. It's 21 more feet. Okay, number 5. If X is positive, which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? Square root of 9x squared, we can split that up into the square root of 9 times the square root of x squared, which is going to be 3x. It's positive x since x is positive. If x was negative, this would be negative x though. So this is 3x, A. Okay, number 6. What are all values that satisfy x that satisfy the equation above? Cool. Okay, so on the top, I'm noticing this is a difference of squares. So I'm gonna write it as a difference of squares. That's x minus 1 times x plus 1 is x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 equals -2. So that means I could cancel those x minus 1s. So I guess I'm assuming x isn't 1, so it can't be c. And then x plus 1 equals -2, so I get x equals -3. Notice -1 is a possible solution here, but I can't plug in -1. -1 actually doesn't make sense. I can't plug in 1 because then the bottom one would be 0. But yeah, the answer here I believe is just -3. Number 7. The graph of f of x is shown in the xy plane. What is the value of f of 0? F of 0, guys, that's just the y-intercept. That's what happens when you plug in x equals 0. Here I get 4. That was a nice one. I like that problem. All right, number 8. Let's see. In the figure above, point B lies on AD. What's the value of 3x? 3x. Okay, be careful not to solve for x. I bet one of these answers is x and the other one's 3x. So don't fall for that trap. So I notice here that we've got a line. ABD is a line, so that total angle should be 180 degrees. Plus they tell us that this little guy is a 90. So that means that the remaining ones, x plus 2x plus 2x, should be 90. So we've got x plus 2x plus 2x equal 90. That gives me 5 x's total equal 90. So x is equal to whatever 90 divided by 5 is. Goes in 1, 4, 8. I think that's 18. Yeah, okay, look it. That's an answer. Don't choose it. It's x times 3. So 3x is 18 times 3, which I believe is 54. Yeah, sometimes multiplying's hard, but I think that's right. Okay, number 9. Which of the following is an equation of line L in the xy plane above? All right, classic line equation, guys. Lines, all we need to know is their slope and their y-intercept. So remember, we always have y equals mx plus b. So let's find the slope and the intercept and then figure out which one it is. So we've got the y-intercept here is -4, so that's my b. And then what's my slope? I went from -4 to -4. I went down 4 and over 4. So my slope is -1. So I've got -x plus or -4. And then I notice all these answers have x and y on the same side. So I move the x over. I get x plus y equals -4. X plus y equals -4, C. Okay, number 10. Parabola question. Okay, the graph of this is shown if the graph crosses the y-axis at the point 0, k. That's the point they're giving us. What's the value of k? Again, y-intercept, we just got to plug in this point. They give us a point, they give us an equation. Plug in the point, that's all you got to do. So if I plug in k, 0, k, I get k equals 0 plus 0 plus 12. K is 12. Done. Okay, so now at this point, I've gotten through the first 10. The last 5 multiple choice are probably going to be pretty tricky. So I'm going to skip and go to the grid questions now. Because I think those ones should be a little easier, and then I'll go back and do the other ones. Okay, so number 16. We got an equation, T, in terms of C and F, something to do with a manufacturer shipping certain products to 2 locations. The equation above shows the total shipping cost is T, shipping C units to the closer and F to the farther location. Total shipping cost was $47,000. And 3,000 units were shipped to the farther location. Farther location's F, so that means F equals 3,000. How many units were shipped to the closer one? All right, they're giving us 2 of the variables. We just got to solve for the third. So we have 47,000 equals 5 times the closer one, this one I'm trying to find, plus 12 times 3,000. Okay, this problem's annoying just because it involves multiplication. Let's see, we've got 47,000 equals 5 times C plus 36,000. I subtract the 36,000. I get 11,000 equals 5C. So that means C is equal to 11,000 divided by 5. 5 goes into 11 twice. 1 remainder goes in twice. And then 0, 0. Is that right? That feels wrong. 5 goes in twice, 10, 1 remainder goes in twice, 0, yeah, no, that sounds right. Okay, I think it's this, 2,200. Maybe I'll come back and check that math after if I have a second, but okay. 17. If A and B are solutions to the equation above, are these solutions. There's two solutions because we have absolute value. Should get two solutions. What's the value of, wow, okay. Well, step one is I split this out. This is kind of a hard question just because it has a lot of parts. But first I'm going to split this into two different equations. So I've got either 2x plus 1 is positive, or I have 2x plus 1 is negative, and when I take the absolute value of it, I have to take the negative of it. So these are my two equations that I have. Then I just solve for x in both of those. So I've got 2x equals 4, so x equals 2. Or on this side, I've got negative 2x. Be careful to distribute this negative. Negative 2x equals 6, so x equals negative 3. So I've got x equals negative 3 and x equals 2. I want the value of, so like one of these is A and one of them is B. It doesn't matter which is which. So I've got like 2 minus negative 3. And then in absolute value, that would be absolute value of 5, which is 5. If I did it the other order, notice I'd get negative 3 minus 2, absolute value. I'd still get absolute value of negative 5, which is still 5. So my answer there is 5. Okay, 18. Juan purchased an antique that had a value of $200 at the time of purchase. Each year, the value of the antique is estimated to increase 10% of its value over the previous year. The estimated value for the antique in dollars 2 years after the purchase can be represented by the expression 200A, where A is a constant. What is the value of A? Oh, okay, yeah, so 200 is his starting value. And then I'm gonna need to multiply by 1 plus the percent that I'm increasing each year. So this is gonna be 1 plus 0.1. So that A value is just gonna be 200 times 1.1. So that means this A is 1.1. That's my answer for that one. 19, systems of equations. Great. It says, based on the system above, what is the value of 5x plus 5y? Oh, that's fun. Okay, just add the equations, guys. Add the equations straight down and I get 5x plus 5y equals 2500. 2,500, that's the answer. I thought that was gonna be a really hard question and it was actually not so bad. Okay, number 20. If u plus t is 5 and u minus t is 2, what's the value of this? Okay, now here's a systems of equations question that's gonna be harder. Potentially. Actually, okay, so we're looking for, so I was tempted at first to just solve for u and t and then try and plug them in, but I'm realizing now that that's gonna be a lot slower. It's gonna be a lot faster to realize that u minus t, I already know what that is. I know that's 2. They're telling me that's 2 right here. And then u squared minus t squared, again, that's a difference of squares. We can split that up into u plus t times u minus t. And I already know those numbers. So now I've got, this is 2, this next one is 5, and the next one is 2 again. So I've got 2 times 5 times 2, it's 4 times 5, that's 20. 20 is the answer there. Okay, how are we doing on time, Chase?
You're absolutely smoking it.
Oh, we're
You're
going really
so
fast.
You have 12. You have 12 and a half minutes left.
12 minutes.
With
Look at
5
this.
questions.
Look at this, guys. Now I've got 12 minutes to go through these hard problems. We'll see how that goes. All right, number 11. Oh, I should check my multiplication on that one problem too. Okay. A circle in the xy plane has center 5, 7, radius 2. Which of the following? So this is like either you know the equation of a circle or you don't. So you just got to know that equation. The equation is always x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where the center is h comma k. Be careful here with these negatives, guys. So since our center is 5 comma 7 and our radius is 2, we're going to have a, radius squared is 4, so it's definitely A or B, so not C or D. And then we've got these minus signs. We have to have this minus 5, minus 7 in our equation, so it's A. Number 12, nice right triangles. They're telling us these triangles are similar. ABC is similar to DEF. That means the sides are proportional. And we want to know what's the cosine of E. So cosine, I need to know adjacent over hypotenuse. So that means I need this side and I need this side if I'm looking at angle E, adjacent over hypotenuse. And yeah, so the idea here, guys, is that if you have similar triangles, they actually have the same angles. Like the corresponding angles are the same, which means that their cosines of those angles are going to be the same. So it turns out that the cosine of B is going to be the same as the cosine of E, which is going to be 12 over 13. That one could be a lot trickier if you didn't see that. 13. In the xy plane, the graph of the function so this is a parabola, right? I know it's opening up. It has two x-intercepts. What is the distance between these x-intercepts? Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna solve this one by factoring it. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 4 that add to 5. I'm gonna pick 4 and 1. So I have x plus 1 times x plus 4 is my function f of x. And that means that the x-intercepts are where this function's equal to 0. So where this is equal to 0. And so that means either x plus 1 is 0 or x plus 4 is 0. So the zeros are going to be x equals -1, x equals -4. And then I want the distance between them. The distance between those two numbers, -4 and -1, is 3. So that's going to be C. Number 14, we've got, what are all values of x that satisfy the given equation? Okay, I noticed that square root, and I don't really like square root, so I think I'll square both sides. Or maybe I'll plug in, so this one, they're giving us two choices. We have 1, 9, and then we've got either 1, 2, both of them, or neither of them. This seems like they really just want us to plug in the answers. So maybe let's do that. So if we plug in 1, I get the square root of 4 equals 1 minus 3. The square root of 4, see, since they don't, so the square root of 4, I'm assuming they mean that the positive square root, since they haven't told us that there's a negative square root. So I would get 2 equals -2, which is not true. So 1 is not going to work here. But if you had squared both sides, I think you would get you'd get that 1 would work. So that's the trick there. They're trying to get you. And then if you plug in 9, let's see if that works. Then we get the square root of 36 equals 9 minus 3. That's what we're trying to figure out if that's true. And then we get 6 equals 6, which is true. So it's going to be 2 only here. That's going to be B. But that was kind of tricky. If you had squared both sides, you would have, I think, gotten that 1 and 9 both work. Okay, problem 15. Again, we got systems of equations. This one looks a little harder. A is a constant. For which of the following values of A does the system have no solution? Okay, if a system has no solution, first of all, these are two lines, and a system of equations, like the solution is where those lines cross. So if we have no solution, that means that the lines are parallel. And if lines are parallel, that means they have the same slope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for y in both of these equations so I can find their slope. Again, get them into y equals mx plus b. When I do that, I've got in the first one, I have y equals 3x plus 6. And in the bottom one, I've got, let's be careful. So we got 2y equals -ax plus 4. And then I divide by 2. So I get y equals -a over 2x plus 2. I want these slopes to be the same so that these lines are parallel so that there's no solution. That means I need 3 equal to -a over 2. So that means if I multiply by -2 on both sides, I get a equals -6, which is a. Okay, and now I think I've answered all the questions, but I'm gonna double check this multiplication here, or division. For some reason this felt wrong. Let's see, 2200 times 5. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 10, 11. Okay, all right, no, that's right, I think. All right, and then I can double check some of my answers. I think I have, how much time left?
Sorry, I was trying to give you, you have 6.5 minutes. You absolutely flew through
6.5 minutes,
that.
I went really fast, guys. Okay, wasn't expecting to do that fast. I'm gonna check these ones where I had to like multiply a bunch of stuff again. So let's see. 18. One purchased an antique value of 200 at the time you purchased it. Each year the value has increased 10%. The estimated value of the antique in dollars 2 years after purchase price can be oh, wait. 2 years after purchase price. I wasn't even. Oh, because this is the amount of money. Okay, wait. So, guys, I just realized what I did was 1 year after the purchase price. 1 year after the purchase price is what 200 times 1.1 would be. Because I just went up 1 year. So I'd have to do it again to figure out what happens in the second year. After the second year, I would have to multiply by 1.1 again. Okay, so let me erase this. We're gonna redo that. Oh, redo this. Great. Okay, we're gonna start fresh. Let's see. All right, so we have 2 years. We start with $200. 200 times A. Wow, yeah, this is tricky. All right, so we start with $200. After 1 year, the first year I multiply by 1.1, and that's what I have. The next year I have to multiply by 1.1 again, so I'm squaring 1.1. Multiplying by. This should be the amount of money that I have. The value of the antique after 2 years. So 1.1 times 1.1. Oh goodness, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Add those, 1, 2, 1. Move the decimal place twice, 1.21. Okay, so A is equal to 1.21. Wow, I'm glad I went back and double checked that because that was definitely not right. This one, yeah, I really like this question. Just adding down 5x, 5y, 2,500. And this last one too. Those are tricky though, so recognizing those difference of squares definitely helps make that move a lot faster. Okay, we can go back and look at these ones. Yeah, I feel pretty good about these. Circle equation, cosine, y-intercept. Negative x minus 4. Yeah, that was good. I multiplied here correctly as well, I think. 4. Yep. Okay. All right, I think I still have like 4 minutes left. Is that right?
Yeah, you absolutely flew through that.
Okay.
You still have 4 minutes left. Take a nap.
Oh, maybe I can just double check. Yeah, I mean, I went through that a lot faster than I was anticipating. So but it's a good idea to go back and check your work. So especially in some of those early ones, like we don't want to make a dumb mistake in the first few minutes of the test when we're just like, gotta go. So just going, like this first question, I would hate to miss that, right? So it's really important to just go back through and double check some of your answers if you have more time. Might as well use every minute that they give you on this test to maximize your score. And especially, this number 3. This number 3 is really hard. I would recommend like doing this problem potentially even like just rounding the numbers so that they look nicer, because they're all really close to like good numbers. So like making this 16.94, making that 17, make this one 22, make this one 32, make this one 52. And then make these answers, make this 1, make this 1, make this 12. They're close enough. The answer is going to be, you can make 3.5 or even 3 probably would be sufficient. 17. Work with nicer numbers when you don't have a calculator, because that's going to be a really annoying problem otherwise. But look for the slope. Again, as soon as I saw that the slope was 1, then it was easier for me to find the answer, or close to 1. Yeah, these other ones, recognizing difference of squares, that came up twice on this test, and definitely made it easier to solve. If I had to multiply this entire thing out, I would have gotten a quadratic equation for this, and then wanted to find the roots, and then that would just not be, that wouldn't have been, that would have been more time consuming, for sure. Okay, I think I'm close to, these ones I felt pretty good about. There's a lot of stuff about y-intercepts as well, which is good. That one was tricky. Yeah, okay. I think I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, so
Time to grade.
yeah, I think let's do it. Chase has the answers up, and so he's gonna shout them out, and we'll see how I did.
All right, here we go.
Let's go. Number one.
Number one. Sorry, guys, for the lack of production value here, too. We didn't have the answers. So if you hear my voice, you've seen other videos with me in them. So number one is B.
B, got it.
Number two is C.
Great.
Number three is B.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Number four is C.
4, C.
Number five is A.
Yep.
Number six is A.
Yes.
Number seven is D.
Woo! Let's go.
Number 8 is C.
Yes.
Number 9 is C.
Good.
Number 10 is D.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11 is A.
Yep.
Number 12 is B. Whoops, there went your timer.
Oh, there's
That
the
was, you
timer.
finished so early. 12 is B. 13 is C.
Yep.
14 is B.
Yep.
15 is A.
Mm-hmm.
16 is 2200.
Yeah, I multiplied right. Woo.
17 is 5.
Yep.
18 is 1.21.
Oh, good thing I went back. Okay, yes.
19 is 2500.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 is 20.
20 is 20. That's a great way to end. All right. Yeah, that went well. So I guess we got a perfect score there. Again, I went fast. And I used that extra time to go back and even get another answer right that I had wrong. I know I'm not confident in my multiplying skills, and so I wanted to go back through those problems at the end there where I actually had to do some mental math. So remember, don't give up until the time is really over. Just keep pushing through. Use that time wisely. And best of luck on the math no calculator section. Thanks.